Later, my parents told me that I had been caught in the same net as Mani. Fortunately, a water police boat happened to be nearby. Apparently, before I lost consciousness, I had clung tightly to Mani. In any case, the police pulled me out of the water along with him. I regained consciousness, but I had to spend some time in the hospital because I had grown weak and needed to rest. Mani recovered significantly faster and practically never left my bedside. He could sit by me for hours, just watching me. His eyes showed that he understood everything. Many people don't know that dogs can be truly grateful. And Mani spent hours looking at me with a kind, thankful gaze. Of course, at that time, I had no idea what would happen next. Meanwhile, I turned 12, but nothing changed. We still never went to the sea. My parents were still worried about the economic downturn. According to them, all our money problems had arisen from the poor economic situation. And when I asked why my friend Monica's parents were doing ever better, I was snapped at irritably. The mood couldn't have been worse. Sometimes my mom said it would have been better if we hadn't bought this house. I thought these conversations were a waste of time, since the past couldn't be changed anyway. Besides, then I wouldn't have had Mani. And then something incredible happened. One time, I decided to order new compact discs of my favorite band by phone. I had just seen an advertisement on TV that listed a phone number. I sat by the phone and started dialing. But suddenly I heard a voice. "Kira, think about it. Can you really afford such a purchase?" I turned around in fear. The doors were locked. I was alone in the room. There wasn't a single person nearby, only Mani lying at my feet. Perhaps it was just my imagination. I picked up the telephone receiver again, which I had dropped in fright, and began dialing. But once more I heard the voice. "Kira, if you buy these discs, you'll spend all your pocket money for the month." Before me stood Mani, his head slightly tilted to one side. For a moment, it seemed to me that he was speaking, but that couldn't be. A chill ran through me. I thought, dogs can't talk, not even ones as smart as Mani. Once, all dogs could talk, but not like humans. Then they lost that ability, but I retained it. Mani was watching me intently. I had once seen a talking camel on TV. But that was a movie, I mused. And this is not a movie at all. This is reality. And then it hit me. I was just dreaming. I quickly pinched my hand. Ouch. That hurt. It turns out I wasn't asleep. Manny continued to watch me. Then I heard the voice again. "Maybe we should talk calmly, or are you just going to keep pinching yourself?" I can't explain why it suddenly seemed completely normal to me that Mani could talk. It was as if we had been conversing with him for many years. There was only one strange thing. When Mani spoke, his jaw didn't move. We dogs communicate with one another more effectively than humans. When we want to tell each other something, we simply exchange thoughts, said Mani. That's why I know what you're thinking. This time I was truly frightened. "So, you read all my thoughts?" I asked, and began to quickly sort through in my mind what I had been thinking about lately. But Mani interrupted my thoughts. "Of course I do. When two living beings are close to each other, they always have a rough idea of what the other is thinking. That's why I know how much your parents' financial problems upset you, and I see that you're beginning to make the same mistakes. After all, a person's attitude toward money is formed in childhood. Actually, I wasn't planning on talking to you. If the scientists find out about this, they'll lock me in a cage and start conducting experiments. That's why I haven't told anyone about my abilities. But since you saved me by risking your own life, I'll make an exception for you. Only this must remain our secret. No one should ever know." I wanted to ask Mani so many questions. I wanted to know where he had come from, who his previous owner was, who bit him. But he interrupted me again. "You'll learn all that later. For now, let's not waste time. I propose we discuss one subject, money. It's very important." There are other topics that interest me much more, I thought. Besides, my mom often said that money isn't the most important thing in life. I don't think money is the most important thing either, but it becomes exceptionally important when you never have enough of it. Remember how we were drowning in the river? We absolutely had to get out. Everything else was secondary. The same is happening now with your parents. Their financial situation is so dire that they only talk about it. One could say they're drowning. I want to help you so you don't end up in a similar situation. If you want, I'll show you how money can bring joy. I had never really thought about that.